Hello, beautiful world. It's us again. Eliza, Sheila, and me, Solara. So we're just having a chat, and we're talking about this period we're in, which is it's February 13th, 2026. The world as we know it is collapsing around our ears, kind of thing, which is a good thing. It's like it makes space for new, and that's us. We're about sourcing a new version of reality, and it creates space for that. So, but and then we were talking about where we are at the moment, where we are with energetic power and mastery and our capacity to source reality and all kinds of stuff. And Eliza, then you said you want to say what you said, and it'll frame this discussion.
Yeah, we were talking about because we like to really play in the new and the going beyond and the beyond, beyond. But what I'm feeling right now is there's a real gap between where our mastery is, where we're wanting to play. And I don't know if it's a language or consciousness or an energetic gap, but it's like there are so many people who are ready for this and need this, but yet haven't jumped in, haven't said yes. So I was kind of like just playing with what is that? And is there something we can really mine in that
Oh
to
yeah,
bring people, to open people, to engage with people at a deeper level, to open up this brilliance that we in our other group or that we play in all the time?
yeah, nicely said. Yeah, Sheila, anything for you around it?
Yeah, what two things. One is it's providing the opening. I've shared this before in my sort of entrepreneurial life that when I saw an opening, when I got an opening, I walked into it. And that has always been brilliant in my life to do that. So it's somehow we need to provide that opening that is somehow compelling. So that it's that.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing, I just got back from Mexico and I was hanging out with a lot of Mexicans, lovely, lovely Mexican people. And, it's sort of like some of the things we talk about are already in the air in the world, in
Yes.
the younger generation.
Yeah.
I was mostly around younger generation, Uber drivers and um, tour guides and people working in, of course, in tourism tend to be upbeat, but there was an awful. I mean, I had a lot of experiences of wow. It's like, oh, wow, these guys are walking around in a pretty happy, upbeat, creative. Oh yeah, no problem. That car just crashed over there. We'll just go over here, you know, kind of world. Like what should we create here? Which beach shall we go to? And what do you guys want to do? And it was I felt really validated. Our work being validated
Yeah.
in a of course it was a resort and it was beautiful, but I first of all, I guess I think we should acknowledge that some of the energy of the conversations we're having are really showing up in the world, and that's so lovely and so
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did find that last year,
yeah,
especially there was more curiosity for the beyond the newness of things than there was in previous times. Like in previous times, people would be, oh, like that's weird. Now
yeah,
they're like, oh, what's
oh,
that?
yeah,
But at the
oh,
same
yeah,
point, I kind of find I don't think some people have just assimilated it into their lives. I find a lot of that, especially women of a certain age. It's just like it just shows up in there naturally without choruses or anything. They just seem to have it in some way. But I also think in other cases, it's hard to explain the power of what we do. Like, we were talking about like shamanistic courses and Reiki courses and, all different kind of courses. But what we do is quite beyond that. It's a different level. It's like it's not even, we used to call it consciousness innovation. I can't even call it that anymore. It's turning worlds out. It's making, sourcing realities. It's getting life to flow effervescently and vibrantly and creating new connectedness, new intelligences for the world, sourcing breakthroughs. I mean, it's so, and that might be for people like, what? What are they talking about kind of thing. But it is what we do. And
Yeah.
it's so beautiful to do. It's not some kind of stressed out power game where it's just joy is at the base of it, and you're creating beautiful moments and things in the world that make the world a brighter place. This synergy happens, this natural kind of abundance flow sort of comes out of it.
Mhm.
It's like it's making friends with a different level of power is how I would say it. But like I said, we don't have a name for what that would. We're not quite alchemists. We're not quite, you know, shamans. We're not quite like what is that? What do we call it? That's my question, I guess.
I think that's part of the beauty of it and the frustration of it. Not that we play in frustration very much in this realm, but like any of the language that we've used
Yeah,
means something different,
yeah,
right? It's like I'm using the same language only because I don't have new words yet
yeah,
for something that feels so old. So I'm constantly saying, but not like that, sort of like that, but not like that.
yeah, yeah,
But what we find is or what I find both in the work that we three do together is I am always lifted. I am always expanded. I am always empowered by whatever it is that we're doing.
yeah,
And then you go to say, I'm lifted and expanded and empowered. And like, oh, what does that mean? It's like, no, 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 not that.
yeah, yeah,
This.
yeah.
It's like we've accessed a whole different life force, but even that word doesn't
Yes,
work.
no,
Life
it's
force
true.
doesn't work. That's
Yeah,
so old, but this
yeah,
whole new flow and space.
yeah.
And we were talking something you were saying about the doorways. It's like we need to create the doorways. I'm like, wait, my whole life's about opening the doorways so
Yeah.
people can get a new perspective. But I've forgotten about the doorway.
Mhm.
Like that just triggered with a little bit of marketing that I know, right? It's like, oh, what is the doorway
Yeah.
language that will get people to step in to experience
Yeah.
Mhm.
this that we do?
Because it's a new kind of power.
Mhm.
It's a new reality creation game. It's not like, oh, I create my reality. It's it's not like that. It's like
It's not like that.
we create realities. We're redesigning the world. We're reconnecting everything. We're, refabricating life. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. It's so exhilarating. And I think a lot of people are still focused on trying to solve problems.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
had I had the other day I did a group call. It was an open one, and there was a lady on the call who I know of her from Facebook, but I hadn't really ever, I don't think, met before. And she was great on the call. She just slid right into this big conversation. And I messaged her afterwards and said, "So just how you doing?" She said, "Oh my God, that call." She said, "When I came into it, I had this problem, this problem, this problem. But when I left, I was like handled, but
Mhm.
we didn't even talk about it." It
Mhm.
was like she was sitting in such a different place that everything looked, that's all the solutions. It
Mhm.
all looked different and the solutions were all available. And she didn't have to work on the problems.
Mhm.
Right,
And
right.
that's, I think, the gap that you're talking about, Eliza. There's trying to deal with this life, but when you go here, it looks so different that you don't have to work
Yeah,
on
this
it.
life gets handled.
Yeah,
But it's like you can't, like talking to somebody who hasn't experienced it,
yeah,
it's hard for people who haven't experienced to get out of this
Yeah.
in order to get there. But once you get there, then this softens or
Oh,
resolves or changes or
it's
whatever it does.
amazing. It's such a different life. You know, like
Yeah.
the world is collapsing. The old world reality is collapsing. More by the day, this week especially, like it's like, whoo, goodness gracious me. And that could be quite disturbing, actually, I suppose, for people. But
Disorienting for sure.
you
Like
just,
foundations are like,
even I in the last year have really had moments of, well, how does one be with all this? Even though you know it's got greater purpose and you trust it's going to turn out all right in the end, and but it's quite disturbing. Yeah, exactly. But when you rise into this place of living, because it's not that place of consciousness where you're out. It's not that. It's a real living power presence of creation in life. When you rise into that, all of this looks so different, so completely different.
yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's amazing, actually. And I want people to get the creational power of themselves, you know? Not like, oh, here's the steps, do this, but come on, you've got power and mastery and genius in you. Let's get that stuff rolling.
Let's ignite it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's lift off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's exciting, isn't it? So, yeah, interesting. So maybe we've identified or like looked at what the gap was that you were talking about when we started. But then
Yeah, there's
what do we
So
do with it?
you guys are seem to be talking about teaching the teachers. Am I right there? You want to teach
Not
the teachers?
necessarily.
No. Okay. Okay.
They don't have to be, it would be anybody who
Hmm.
wants to
Yeah.
remake the
Well, yeah.
world.
Yeah.
That could be anybody, you know?
Sure.
It could be a kid, for heaven's sakes. I'd be like, wow, that would be cool to take young kids and teach them some of the skills we're developing. It's amazing.
I think some of the young kids are coming in with it.
I do. I think so too, and I think they have been for a while now.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same point in time, I think we're also developing some new stuff and have some real experience with this that's just extraordinary. Because living in this version of life is so different from this version of life. Like
Mhm.
they're just not comparable in any way,
No.
shape, or form. And you have to kind of find your way. And it was interesting because before we put this recording on, I was saying how I think there's a whole other new level to come, which is me. I'm always out in the next beyond.
Well, my experience of you, Solara, in 6+ years is you're always, it's always new. Like every week. Oh, we're going to touch something new. Oh, we landed. Oh, there's new, which I love
Yeah,
so
me too.
much. But I think that it's like once we start in that momentum,
Yeah,
then the momentum keeps going. But it's like that, like the image I'm having now is like the fuel for the rocket, like to get
yeah,
out of the density, like ugh,
yeah,
and the despair and the destruction. But to ignite something that lifts off out of that, then opens to
yeah.
new possibilities, opens
Well,
each person's mind or ability or willingness even to be in something new.
yeah, because I think, in the group we play in the Memoration of Maestros, we've been quite instrumental in creating breakthroughs for a new reality and in sourcing movement for the world in an upward, beautiful, gracious way and connected way, thriving way. But I think, like, if I look at myself, so I just finished putting together that online course today, right? So I don't have emotional reactions anymore. I see the greater purpose in everything. I'm excited by life. I'm agelessing. I have huge vitality. I last year opened up the miraculousness of my physicality, so I'm doing really well physically. Live in a beautiful, energetic space. My life is an adventure. I'm always creating. Okay, so that's how life is. But I think I want to go next level. Like, what's beyond all that? What's like, what? You know how like you see watch science fiction fantasy movies, right? And you see Gandalf with the staff and the dragons, and you see all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, it's not that I want to be a wizard. But what's the new version of that in modern day life where that's who you are, that's who you're living every minute of every day in an extraordinary, delightful, joy-filled, creative, power-filled way. That to me is the next thing. Yeah, Sheila.
Did you guys see the kid, the American kid that won this figure skating thing? Oh, you need to
The
see
big
his.
hair. He's
Yeah,
so good.
he totally is out of the box, out of of what figure skating ever used to be. I mean, he just went way beyond, and that's what you're up to and what we're up to. And
Wow.
he embodied it in on skates at the Olympics, and he just was so clear and pure and present and um it so there's a whole bunch of people that are going that are we're going and you're one of the leaders of that, Solera, and we just have to find those people that need to hear your conversation.
Yeah.
um, yeah, and I'm sure there's lots of them. Sure, there's lots of them. I will think on where do we find them? I mean, well, maybe athletes are one of them.
Maybe.
They're always, I remember when I was working with Phil and Steve Mayer a long time ago, the Americans that won the Winter Olympics skiing. I would run into them at the top of the hill, and they'd just be sitting meditating. I'd say, "What are you guys doing?" Oh, we're envisioning the win. We're envisioning our win. I was like, oh yeah, all right, good. And then they just go do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's some athletic stuff that,
Maybe.
and
Yeah.
then it's like, what's the goal? Where are the people that want the world to change? Where are
Yeah.
we finding them?
That is the key. And a lot,
That
there's,
is
yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
The
people
people
that,
who want the world to change.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And who want to be part of making it
yeah,
new
Yeah.
yeah,
in
yeah,
Yeah.
new, exciting, exhilarating, fabulous, connected, glorious, genius ways. You
And I
know?
think part of that is that as we're going beyond and into this new, we can't see it because it hasn't been created. So we're creating it.
Yeah.
And yet as we're creating it, we're seeing it, but we're seeing it as we're creating it. And it's just very interesting.
Yeah.
But Solaire, how you described how you want your world to be, I'm like, yeah, you're already doing that. Of course. That's
Yeah.
how
I
you
want
live.
more
And
of it. I want
yeah,
more,
yeah, I get me too. I want more of it. I
you
want more of
know?
it, but also to acknowledge really
Yeah.
that we are doing it.
Yeah.
And we
Oh, definitely.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. We don't want people who want the world to change. We want people who are willing to change the world
That's right.
as
Yeah.
opposed to being a spectator. And
Yeah.
that's what like the athletes is like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing
mhm,
it.
Yeah. And I
And
think
so
right now a lot of people, they are doing it in beautiful ways, like through kindness,
mhm,
through generosity, through care for whatever. Yeah. It's not about like being a visionary and taking on big companies or even going into politics. It's like, yeah, like that's all. thing. Like, who would, you'd have to be a certain type of person to want to do that. We're talking about moving from a world of challenges and problems and things to solve into a world of creative power,
Yes.
I would say, is maybe a good way to
Yeah.
talk about it. So, yeah.
I think
Living it.
another aspect for me too is the collective. Like there's a lot of people doing things alone, but to
Yes.
come into like for me, the group that we're in and these gatherings with the three of us are
Yeah.
so enriching to me.
Yeah.
You know, they're so impactful, they're so vital almost, you
Yeah.
know, to,
Just to be in the conversation, to
right,
elevate like that, to be able to create in the midst of chaos.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's it is a beautiful, beautiful thing that we do. And I love that life. It's amazing, you know. So yeah. Okay, how should we leave this then in our recording?
Let's just do a zing up for the world and
Yeah,
to, you know, just attract those who are like, "Ooh, I want some of that," you know, in
yeah,
whatever it is that we're offering and however it is that we're playing, because there's lots of ways that we're offering and playing.
yeah. Well, so let's just invite anybody who's watching this recording later to
Yeah.
join us in the power pulsing of a new version of reality for the world, in joy, in creation, in connection, in life power.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful?
Wasn't that wonderful? These are so fun. Thank
Yeah,
you.
brilliant.
And thank you
Okay,
to everybody who's watching and listening. It's
yeah, thanks for watching if you have been.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.